Hey everybody, I'm Ross Myers with Bunker Munitions, and it's been a while. So, about 3 years ago, I made a video on how to become a home based FFL. And I did that because I was in the process of becoming a home based FFL. And when I was trying to get that ball rolling, I couldn't find a whole lot of resources. And I said, well, if I can't find these, I'm sure other people are having the same issue. So, made that video, and it blew up in a way that I didn't expect it to blow up. And I still get calls to this day from people that, wanted to know how things are going. Am I still in business? They'll call me and ask questions or advice. And people from all over the U.S. calling me, which makes me feel good. I'm glad that I was able to help several people, and hope that if you're on your journey, that you're doing well. And if you've opened your business, some of you had called me and told me that, hey, you guys got your license and you're ready to roll, and I think that's awesome. I enjoy getting those calls. um, but I also saw a lot of comments in those videos, so I wanted to use this as just an update. Yes, I'm still in business, I'm still here. I do it part-time, I'm still home based. I've got a full-time job that I work outside of this, so I do it mainly on nights and weekends. I'm still not rich, like I said in the original video. The potential's there; it's there, but it's a lot of work, especially working a full time job alongside this. It it takes a lot out of you. Um, but I wanted to go through some of the main comments that I saw in that video and just talk about more lessons that I've learned. I'm gonna do more videos. I plan on starting to do these very regularly, of lessons that I've learned, products that I recommend that help on an FFL, pitfalls that I fell in to avoid, a lot of money that I wasted that I hope I can save you guys from wasting. So that's kind of going to be the point of these videos, this series, is just helping local home based mom and pop FFLs. I really enjoy this community. I've gotten to see so many cool guns come through the door. I've got to meet so many cool, unique people that I otherwise never would have. So I really enjoy it, and I really enjoy this community. But the original video, if you're thinking about starting this journey, please go watch it. It's got a lot of good information in it. Some of it may be outdated by this point, and a lot of it's state dependent. I'm in Georgia, um, so take that as the what it is. But in that video, I said that being home based, my overhead at the time was about $170 a month, which that's not much. Now my monthly expenses are over $500, creeping up to $600, and the reason for that is the business has grown a little bit. So I had to hire an accountant that has helped me so much. She's fantastic. If you guys are getting into this and you need an accountant, I will give her information out gladly. I need to make sure she's okay with that. But she really came in and helped. I went through about three accountants before I could find somebody that really knew what I needed. So I'll sing her praises. But when I made that video, I was also doing my acquisitions and disposition book by hand, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I started using a software called Fastbound, which is really great. I wish I had been doing that from the beginning. And I'll put a link to them in the bottom of this video if you want to sign up with them. But what they do is they basically replace your acquisitions and dispositions book, and they make your 4473s electronic. So a lot of common mistakes that happen on the 4473, as in people will write, instead of county that they live in, they'll misread it as country and write USA. That's a no-go. You can't do that. Fastbound catches that stuff and says, hey, nope. For your multiple handgun sale reports, instead of trying to keep track of those on paper, it automatically flags in the system and says, hey, you have to have a multiple handgun sub report for this. So it takes care of a lot of that administrative burden for you. And if you move less than 500 guns a year, it's only $26. And that is extremely fair pricing to me. I can't believe they don't charge more. But it's a learning curve to get into. And when I started, they've got a live chat feature on their site. Somebody was always there within a minute or two when I had a question to help me out. No, Ross, you need to check this box. You need to do this. If you notice an error on the form, this is what you need to do to fix that. It was always really helpful. So I appreciated the guys over there. They're not paying me to say any of this. I mean, it helps. One of the other points that I made in that video was I spent a lot of money up front getting inventory onto my walls, which if I could do it all again, I wouldn't. Being home based, we're not going to get a lot of foot traffic and looky loos coming through the door just browsing. 90%, if not more, of the people that call me know exactly what they want, and they just want to know if I can get it and what the price is. So, one thing that I do keep on the wall is just really common guns that, like a couple Glocks. I keep a Smith & Wesson Easy Model 2 in 380. If somebody calls and they're a first-time gun owner, or someone with smaller stature, weaker grip strength, I think that's a phenomenal gun to carry for personal defense for people in that area. It's really easy to rack the slide. So I keep things like that on hand, but as far as really weird stuff, I'm trying to get those off the shelf, and I will not be replenishing those because that's money that's tied up there that we can be putting to work in other areas. Ammo, it's actually about time for me to do another ammo order. I don't keep a whole lot here. I keep really common calibers and some not so common calibers for if folks come to pick up a gun. If they order online, want to transfer through me, then I've got ammo here while they're picking up the gun and paying their transfer fee. Then they can grab a couple boxes of ammo. Same deal with accessories such as magazines, stuff like that. I'll keep on hand for your common items. I don't carry any holsters here because there's 100 different types of holsters for every gun, and your different retention levels, whether you want it inside the waistband, outside the waistband, leather, Kydex. I mean, there's too many. They would just sit here. So that's one thing that I stay away from. I carried a lot of like gun PPE, basically your earbuds, your glasses, things like that. A couple trauma packs that everyone should have in their range bag. I keep those here, and I don't mind keeping those here because if somebody needs one, then they do need them, and they don't cost a lot. And it looks nice sitting on the shelf that, yeah, you actually do have things on the shelf without tying up a whole lot of money. But again, like I said, most people that call me, they know exactly what they want, and they've already got their earmuffs and their glasses, things like that. So, let's see what else we got. Well, what I am starting to work with is used guns. So if people call me and wanting to sell guns, I used to buy all the used guns that I saw, and your profit is better on used guns. But again, like I said, most people know exactly what they want, so they sit here for a while. We don't get foot traffic through, at least I don't. So unless it's a really good deal or a really common gun that I think I can turn around and sell pretty quickly, I don't want to have my money tied up in that. So I'm starting to get out of that habit. But it's also good just to have some guns here so you do look like a gun store. I mean, that's what we want to be. So there was a lot of questions in the original video of anything and everything, just things that you guys asked, and I want to start elaborating on those. I want to be as helpful as I can for you guys. Um, I really do enjoy doing this, but one of the main questions I got was I filed for my Type 1 and my Type 6 license. So, Type 1 is just your retail sale and gunsmithing, and your Type 6 is a manufacturer of ammunition. And I was asked why I didn't go for a Type 7. And the question is, I should have gone for a Type 7. Well, the answer to that question is, I should have done the Type 7. That was just ignorance on me. I didn't know. And when my licenses are set to renew next time, I will be applying for a Type 7 because it also includes manufacturing. And manufacturing is not defined by the ATF as if you or I were to define it, like with a machine shop. The ATF says that just putting together an AR, a lower and an upper for a customer, that can be considered manufacturing. It is considered manufacturing. So you can't do that with just a Type 1, but with a Type 7, you're covered. So I'll be changing my licenses over to those when I get the chance, to the Type 7. Somebody asked how much I charge for transfer fees, and I charge $20 with an 8% sales tax in Clark County. It's $21.60 out the door. I think that's fair. Much cheaper than all the other places around here. So anything I can do to get customers in, if they see they're going to save $20, $30 coming to me instead of paying $40, $50, $60 in another higher profile gun store, I can get them in. And then, if they buy a box of ammo or two while they're here, and next time maybe they'll call me like, hey Ross, I'm looking for this gun, what can you do on it? I'm looking at it at Buds or Kentucky or Palmetto State, what price can you get? So it's a way to bring new customers in. In that same line, somebody asked how much NICS charges to run background checks, and it's free. You sign up with NICS, and it doesn't charge you anything to run those background checks. As far as my website goes, I had a lot of questions about my website, which is currently being worked on for the past 3 days. I'm swapping over to a new website format. So if you go look at it right now, it might be a little bit of a mess, but I'm working hard and working with my website developer to get it back up and running like it should be. But I originally used Gearfire when I made my website, and I would not recommend them. You don't have any control over what you do. You can set certain parameters, but all Gearfire websites look the same. If you go onto a website, I can immediately tell you that they're using Gearfire. It's $100 a month, and in my opinion, that wasn't even worth it because I got really low sales from it. It's kind of clunky to use. I just didn't appreciate it. So I hired a gentleman to build me a custom website using a FFL program that's specifically for guns. And I'm going to give a huge shout out to the man that created that program, because he's an angel in my opinion. Anytime I have questions, he responds to me. I don't know if he ever sleeps. He responds to me very quickly. So I can't recommend his services high enough. And so I paid $3,000 for my website to be made, and then it's $150 a month after that to maintain it and make sure you have server capacity, make sure everything stays updated and your plugins are updated and everything's working. That's what the $150 a month goes towards. And I don't want to make this too long. I've already been going for 15 minutes at this point. But the last big question that I got was intent to be a business through the ATF, which you have to get your federal firearms license. So, what exactly does intent mean is a gray area that I did not get an answer to. And you don't have to sell a certain amount of guns per year. You don't have to make a certain amount of money. There's nothing like that. You don't even have to turn a profit. You can be a business that operates in the red, and most of us do until you're well established and up and going. But it just shows you're trying to be a business. You're putting in the effort. You've got items on your shelf. You've got distributors. You've got a website. You have a way for people to contact you and purchase firearms and spend money with your business. You can't just have it to get guns delivered to your door tax free, without going through all the loopholes. Which really, that doesn't do much anyways, because when a gun shows up at my door for Bunker Munitions, when I order through one of my distributors, it comes in to Bunker Munitions. I log it into my A&D book because the distributor that I bought it from, they logged it in to their A&D book and logged it out to Bunker Munitions. So if I did not log it out to myself into my personal collection, if it's one that I wanted, then my paperwork's not going to match up, and that gun's basically going to be missing. So even buying a gun from myself, I still have to fill out the 4473, run a background check, or use your carry permit license if that's allowed in your state. It is here in Georgia, to forgo that background check. But it's the same paper trail whether it's for yourself or a customer. But I basically just wanted to say I'm back on here. I want to make this regular, and I want to hear from you guys. If you go to my website, you can see my phone number is blasted at the top. Shoot me a text message, give me a phone call, leave comments on here with questions you want me to answer. I'll be happy to help you any way I can. I'm not a lawyer, not part of the ATF. I'll give you the best advice I can, but double check all of it because I don't want to steer you wrong. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know where you're at in the journey. And if there's anything you want me to answer, I'm an open book. I tell everybody when I get customers calling wanting to sell me guns, I'll tell them, look, this is what I'll sell it for. This is what I can give you. Feel free to call around to other shops. If they give you a better deal, great. No hard feelings. I'm open and honest with everybody, and I think that's the way to be. That's how you win, a lot of people's favor. So just let me know. I'll continue in this series and answer questions and come up with more topics, digging deeper into FastBound, digging deeper into credit card processing. What a nightmare for FFLs. We're considered a high-risk industry. So not a lot of people want to work with us. Banks that don't want to work with you. We can get into all that. Let me know what you guys want to hear, and I'll be there to help any way I can along the way. Y'all have a good one. And I'm Ross Myers with Bunker Munitions. See ya.